Hello, my name is Shelley Mark, and I am an attorney here with Hill and Ponton. I am here today to speak with you about benefits that are available to surviving spouses and family members of veterans after the veterans pass away. Course, anytime a loved one passes away, spouses, family members are dealing with a great deal of stress and difficulty. And in particular, with veterans, surviving spouses and family members, in addition to the grief and the loss, in a lot of cases, there's also a significant loss of income. So it's really, really important for veterans, their spouses, family members to be aware of the benefits that are available through the VA once that happens. So we're just going to go through and talk about some of those benefits today. There are three main types of benefits available after the death of a veteran. I'm going to go through those with you guys today. Just to kind of go over them briefly, the first is dependency and indemnity compensation benefits, or usually referred to as DIC benefits. The second are survivors benefits, and sometimes referred to as survivors pension. And the third is burial benefits. So I'm going to break those down a little bit and go through those and talk about who would be eligible for those and what those benefits kind of look like. So the first benefit we're going to talk about are the DIC, or the dependency and indemnity compensation benefits. These are benefits that are paid to surviving spouses or eligible family members when a veteran passes away directly from their military service or from a service connected condition. Just be aware that the condition does not have to be the primary cause of death for the veteran. So this can be a situation where the veteran passes away and his service connected disability is a contributing cause of death. Either way, the surviving spouse or family members are going to be eligible for these benefits. Probably the most clear cut and easiest way to prove this would be the death certificate. Death certificate will list the cause of death. Of course, if the primary cause of death or the contributing cause of death listed on the veteran's death certificate is a condition that he or she is service connected for, then the veteran's spouse or family member will be eligible for this benefit. Also, there are situations where the service connected condition may not be listed on the death certificate, but may still be a contributing factor to the cause of death. And that's something that we can still prove, even if it's not listed on the death certificate. So don't be discouraged by that. Just reach out and have someone take a look at it. But that is the primary way to prove the cause of death. Also, please be aware that the DIC benefits are paid automatically to a surviving spouse when the veteran has been service connected at 100% for 10 years prior to his death. In that case, it does not matter if the cause of death is related to a service connected condition. It only matters that the veteran has been 100% service connected by the VA for 10 years prior to his death. To qualify for DIC benefits for a spouse, the spouse needs to have been married to the veteran for at least 1 year. They have to have lived with the veteran during that time, and they cannot have remarried since the veteran's death. These are the basic eligibility requirements for a spouse. There are some gray areas here as far as being legally married, living together. There are certain situations where people may not be legally married, but they've held themselves out to be for years and decades. And in those situations, there are certain cases where we can prove that even if they're not legally married. One of the questions that I get very frequently is whether or not children are eligible for DIC benefits. Um, and the answer to that is that yes, in very, very limited situations. It's unfortunate, but children of veterans are only eligible for these benefits if they are under the age of 18 or they have been found to be permanently incapable of self support by the age of 18. What that means is that there's been some type of finding that the child is completely disabled and will not be able to function independently as an adult. In those situations, the children would be eligible for the benefits. As far as the incapacity of a child, to prove that, you're going to need documentation, of course. It's not going to be just a statement from the parent saying this. You're going to want to have like a social security decision saying that the child has been found to be disabled or something from a doctor saying that. A couple things to know about DIC benefits. One, you can receive DIC benefits and also Social Security benefits at the same time. That is a question that I get a lot. Two, you have to file the claim. So, this is not an automatic benefit that the VA is just going to file or reach out to surviving spouses and inform them about. I try to always tell our clients that they need to be aware of these benefits so that they can talk to their spouses about it, so that in the event that this happens, that they have an idea of what to do next. The way that you file for DIC benefits is to file VA form 21P 534EZ, or you can just Google DIC application VA and it's going to come up for you. The application itself is pretty straightforward. It is an application for a number of different benefits for surviving spouses. You would just complete the application. You also want to include a DD 214 if it's needed. In most cases, you're probably not going to need that if the veteran service connected, but you are going to need to submit a copy of your marriage certificate and then also a copy of the death certificate. Preferably here, it would be the death certificate with the cause of death. If you do not have that, just submit the death certificate without the cause of death, and then submit the certificate with cause of death when you have it. I get the question a lot from spouses: Why do I have to do this again? I was a dependent. I've been paid by the VA for years as a dependent. Sorry, you do have to do it again. You do have to provide the marriage license again. If you do not, they will kick it back and you will have to start over. So just go ahead and make sure that you put a copy in with the application. The second type of benefits available to some spouses of veterans after death is survivors benefits or pension. This is a benefit paid to spouses of wartime veterans that meet a certain means test as far as their income and assets. So, this is going to be a benefit where the VA is going to need all the financial information and they're going to make a determination if the spouse meets the income and asset requirements. I won't get into the specifics of what their limitations are on income and assets, but I will say they're significantly low. Can be a difficult benefit for people to qualify for. Although, if it is a spouse that has no income or very limited income, it's definitely something to look into. In this situation, the spouse does not have to prove that the death is related to any service connected disability or anything like that. They just have to meet the requirements of the income and asset test. There's another type of benefit I want to talk about, and they're referred to as accrued benefits. These are benefits that would be payable to the veteran a- at the time of his death, but were not paid out yet. So in this situation, we're talking about situations where the veteran has already filed a claim and the claim is pending, and it doesn't matter if the claim has been pending for a week or if it's been pending for 5 years. but they pass away during the time that it's pending at the VA. In that case, the eligible spouse or family member may be eligible to accrued benefits. So, in that situation, what we would do is with that same application that we're requesting the DIC or the survivor's benefits, we're also going to check on there that we're asking for accrued benefits. What happens at that point is the VA will make a determination if this spouse or family member can be a substitutive party for the veteran. If the spouse meets the requirements that we've gone over in this video, they're not going to have any difficulty being approved for substitution of party. It basically means that the spouse is going to step in the position of the veteran at that point for any pending claims. So once a decision is made at the regional office or at the board or at the court, it doesn't matter. But once a decision is made that leads to retroactive benefits or a payment that would be due to the veteran, that payment's going to be due to the surviving spouse. So, very important to remember this. I can't tell you how many spouses I've talked to that were completely unaware that their veteran spouse even had a claim pending at the time of death. So that definitely happens. So if for the surviving spouses, if you're going to speak to someone about benefits, you definitely want to ask them if there were any claims pending at the time of death, because if so, you can substitute in for the veteran and receive those benefits. The last benefit we're going to talk about today is burial benefits. And for the most part, if the veteran was honorably discharged, the VA is going to pay some amount of burial benefits. If the veteran is service connected, then the VA will pay up to $2,000 in burial expenses. If the veteran is not service connected, then the VA is going to pay $300 in funeral expenses and $762 for a plot allowance. To be eligible for burial benefits through the VA, the veteran would have to receive an honorable discharge. He would need to have passed away from his service connected condition, be service connected for any condition, be receiving care at any VA hospital or facility, or be in treatment or in some type of long term care VA facility. So that covers the main three benefits that we encourage our veterans and their families to be aware of and look into prior to a veteran's death so that they know what to expect and what to do should that happen. And there are some other benefits out there, but these are the main ones that we deal with on a regular basis. I'm sure that this may bring up some other questions, so you guys feel free to ask us if you do have any. I appreciate you watching today, and if you enjoy this, please like and subscribe.